Welcome to Kidderminster Harriers fans podcast episode 47, where we'll chat about the last two home games. But first, we're going to talk to an absolute legend. I've got to check this actually with him. I've got two different types of appearances he got for us. It was either 211 or 243. I'm not sure. He either scored 12 goals or 300. I don't know, but the guy is Adie Smith. Hello, mate. How are you, pal?
Hey, guys. You okay?
Well, really well. Adie, how many times did you play for Harriers, please?
240 odd.
243.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. Thank you so much, Dan. Dan's with us as well. Dan, you played football tonight. How did it go?
Yeah, it went well tonight. 9-0, I think we won tonight. So expecting the same from Harriers on Saturday.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't you? Right, okay. So, Adie, you started off as a part-time roofer, part-time footballer. Where did you have the realization that roofing may have to wait?
When I walked in Graham Ulmer's office with me steel saw, because that was my job. Everywhere I had to go, I had to carry my steel saw. So I walked into the gaffer's office with my steel saw and signed my first contract with him. So I think it's time to give up the roofing.
Absolutely, that sounds amazing. John Smith's in. John, do you know Adie? Adie, do you know John?
How you doing, Joe?
Yeah, not bad, Adie. How are you, mate? Yeah, we've met a few times, one smudger to another.
There you go. Adie moved from Birmingham City to Willenhall, then was sold for the equivalent of a decent Ford Fiesta back in the day to Bromsgrove Rovers. How did that feel, and how did it change you in any way?
It was a lot further to travel. That was a big thing. But just the standard of football and the size of the ground, it was totally different. Totally different.
In a good way?
Yeah, it's in a fantastic way, because I'm just stepping up the ladder. Everywhere I go, I keep going up the ladder, and it's like you meet different people, you meet better players, different managers. Obviously, the higher you go up, the more ex-pros you meet, so you're sort of in awe of the players you play with.
Yeah. August the 1st, 1997 was a massive day for you. Do you remember that day?
August 1st, 1997. 1997. Is that first game for Kiddie?
That's when you signed for Kidderminster Harriers, my friend.
Was
That's
it?
when Harriers' journey started. I'm glad you remembered.
Yeah, I was thinking, when? Okay, yeah.
Either that or Wikipedia's lying. It's one of the two.
Yeah. Kidderminster was a massive club. Come and sign for them, and you come pull into the car park and you look at the ground, and it's just amazing. Obviously, I played against them the previous season, and you're playing against people like Chrissy Brinley, people like I'm looking up to, like Marcus Bignett, who was in my position, and you got Lee Hughes as a striker, you got Prindavit, you just got loads of players, Casey and Ocker Davis, and you're thinking, blooming hell, I've got to try and fill their boots. It's quite a scary thing, and it was a challenge for me, and I loved it.
So you just saying that you mentioned then about what you kind of knew. Was there anything else you knew about the club before you signed? Was that just a no-brainer? It's like, yes, someone's got to sign.
They were the best club in the Midlands, non-league club in the Midlands, and yeah, and there was a lot of expectation. We need to win every game. That was all I know.
Love that. Hey, you were part of the conference winning side with Jan in charge. That must have been a hell of a ride.
Yeah. That was another scary thing, because the gaffer comes in, and obviously he's such a famous player, and that gives you a boost again, because you want to impress him. You want to think, oh yeah, he actually likes me, or do you know what I mean? And when he joins in training, that gives you a little boost as well. But a funny story that the gaffer told me the last time I seen him. He got the job, and then pre-season come, and he's meeting all the players, and I met him, and I went, Gaffer, I can't make the start pre-season. The missus has booked a holiday, and he went, Smudger, that as soon as he told me that, I knew how to get rid of you. So you've got the non-league mentality. And he phoned around all the clubs. He's sorted out with Telford. They were going to sign me. Sorted out a price. They were going to sign me. And then at the last minute, it fell through. So luckily, I stayed with Kidderminster. Or else otherwise, I would have been gone. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how football is. Do you know what I mean? That's how it changes.
So that was Jan Mulby's mentality then?
Yeah, because I was still a non-league player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just didn't think like that.
How did it make you feel when he said that to you? I mean,
well, that's life, isn't it? Things happen for a reason. So I didn't go because it wasn't meant to be. Do you know what I mean?
Was he frosty with you then?
The gaffer, no, not at all. Because I think once I'd shown him what I was like, and I wasn't the best footballer in his head, but he knew he could count on me and I'd give 100%. Do you know what I mean? So I think I wormed my way back into his good box, if you know what I'm saying.
I love that. Wow, that's crazy. So, let's ask a question then. John, have you got a question, mate?
I mean, that sounds like it was just throwing the gauntlet down to you, Adie, really. As in, like, how serious are you about it? And obviously you showed not only the gaffer, but all of us fans how serious you were. I mean, we absolutely loved every minute that you played on the pitch for us. You gave everything. You threw not only your heart and soul, but your body on the line so many times. And even when you left us and you went to Tamworth, and maybe we could dive into the reasons for that. But when you came back, do you remember when you had a chance at the town end in front of goal and you skied it? Yes, he stood the Harrier.
I wish I scored it, but never mind. I want to score as many goals as I can, believe me. I was looking back now and playing with the players I played with. I was never the best footballer. Technically, absolutely shocking. But the one thing I could guarantee is, as soon as I play football, I'd want to give 100%, and I'm glad that's shown through in to the fans that I did give 100%, because I could get the ball on my left foot and it could just go out for a throw-in. Do you know what I mean? But I'd go in for a tackle and know I'm going to give 100% and I'll probably win it or something. Do you know what I mean? So I'm glad it's come through to the fans that I did give 100%.
That attitude is why fans of lower league clubs love the players, especially if they come away with that, because we know not the best. We know if they were the best, they wouldn't be at the level. We get that. We say that every other week. But just to see people so passionate and going for smashing someone every now and then. Yeah. It's so good.
Just wanting to win every game.
Yeah. If I can also say there as well, like that team during that period, I was actually a student at Kidderminster College, just down the road. I don't know if you remember where the old college was, just down the road from Agra.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so we used to come
at the quarry end.
Yes.
So I was studying music at the time at Kidderminster College. So we used to come and have our lunch break in the Harriers Arms. And not so much me, but a lot of my friends who I hung around with, we were, the gothic types with the long hair and eyeliner and black nail varnish and things like that. And yet you lads would come in, I don't know whether you'd sort of been training on the pitch or what it was, but you'd come in for your lunch. And you yourself, you probably don't remember this, but I spoke to you a couple of times. You'd come over and say hello to us. Jan Mulby would come over and have a chat with. And I mean, it's a bunch of goths, sat there looking depressed, like we always did. But I think again, that's the beauty of beauty of non-league football.
Yeah, just come in and have a chat and just
exactly.
Sit there.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was great.
Oh man, that's a few years ago as well, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. You can see the grey in my beard.
I mean, there's two things there, Dan. One is, I don't know if you remember this. Well, if you look like Marilyn Manson, probably not. And And two, how have you gone from studying music at Kidderminster College to being Dr. Dreamy of cardiology?
I think that's a story for another podcast. Let's focus on Adie, and then I'll tell that story one day.
So, Adie, from all your time at the Harriers, mate, favourite game? What was the favourite game you played in for us?
Oh, played in. Oh, I can't. Played in. Russian and Diamonds. Probably the last one.
Yes.
Yeah. Played against, when I played against Kidderminster, would be the Bromsgrove Christmas derbies.
Oh, I used to love those.
Yeah.
Fantastic days.
Fantastic games they were.
Mm.
Yeah, the pitch would be unplayable, but it's all right. We'll carry on, play on.
I've got a match that might jog memory a little bit. The Wolves FA Cup game was a suggested watch on my YouTube. Yeah. 1 minute away from knocking them out. What do you remember from that day, Aid?
We all worked very hard. And it was the last 2 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just tiredness. They'll say tiredness, although how good they were, they just never gave up. And we were so close.
No crying. Yeah.
At least the chairman made a bit of money, so it's happy days.
Yeah.
Happy days for the chairman. Surely one of your highlights must have been getting on the inaugural Harriers Hotline Advent Calendar, Aid, behind door number 10.
Oh, I'm buzzing with that. I didn't think I was going to get on to get in. I was like, get in. It's really made my Christmas, that. It's really good. I was really surprised. Good. Stamps he didn't get on, did he? Scott Stamps?
No, Stampsy didn't get in.
No,
Stampsy had a mention the other day, actually, because we've got our left back. And I don't know, Adie, how many times you've seen us this season, but our left back at the minute, Owen Evans, is getting rave reviews for his performances. And another great performance from him yesterday.
Yeah.
And Stampsy came up in a conversation that we've always had great left backs.
Yeah.
And you look, we've had Caleb Richards recently, Demetriou, Zane Francis Angol, and Stampsy was probably top of the bunch, really. He was he must have been a great person to not just have to play with, but for stories as well.
What a character he was. Unbelievable. I don't think he's not the full ticket, but he was an unbelievable player. Unbelievable. And he always gave 100%, even more in a tackle, because he would like to absolutely break the person in half in tackles. And I don't think he did it on purpose, but I think he broke a fair few legs on the Harriers pitch at the start of his career. But what a talent! He's played loads of league games, and he was one of the people that got after the conference, kept us in the Football League. To be honest, I think he was amazing.
Nick Hatton, who's one of the guys on the panel every now and then, he says, "Why did your partnership with Craig Hinton work so well, Aid?"
Because he kept bringing me to the Harriers games. He was my taxi.
Is that there you go, Nick.
Yeah, me and Craig. Craig was a great player. He was. We found out again a night out that the club had an offer for him. I think it was about 150 grand offer. I can't remember what football club it was, but the gaffer and Mr. Chairman told him on a night out we had, and he was good. We were all laughing, and Craig was gutted. It could have changed his life, but they refused it. And so things could have been way different. But Craig was a great player. Again, he got the right attitude. He just wanted to win games. He was a lot more technical than me. He was better on the ball than me. He could find a pass. He could find a player. So it just worked well. I didn't really play a lot with Craig, centre half. I think Craig was centre half, and I'll probably go right back or something. But we didn't play many games centre half together.
Phil Banner says, "What was your favourite moment as a Harriers player?" And you talked about the games. What was your favourite moment as a Harriers player?
Favourite moment? All the times I've scored a goal.
And how many was it? Was it 12?
Yeah, it wasn't many, but every time I scored a goal, because I didn't score that many headers. At one stage, I think it was in the Football League when the gaffer was in charge, Jan was in charge. I was leading goal scorer for the Harriers. I was like, I'd scored about 4 in 5 games. I was on fire. Wow. And then it all went wrong after that, something like that. Every time I scored a goal, I loved it.
I think that was the season that every corner you used to try and make love to the front post just to try and get as close to the goal as you could.
Oh, yes. Let me go. Yeah. Who was it? Salah Abdu Smudge, come back. Oh, go first up there.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Where are you living now, Aid? What kind of job do you have? Are you still involved in football? Do you still play or not?
Nothing involved. No, football's gone out the window. At the minute, I couldn't think of anything worse playing football. I miss the lads. I miss the banter, and it's nice to meet up with them. But football orientated. My body's a wreck now. Live up by Manchester. Live in a place called Wilmslow. So miles away from Kidderminster and where we used to live. But it's nice up here. I'm living a lie. It's where all the footballers live, so I'm living a lie. I'm just walking around acting like one.
Yeah, that's okay. If you fit it, just go with it, man. Go with it. I'm sure, absolutely. I was going to say, what advice would you give to someone who was coming up in the ranks in Kidderminster Harriers? What would you say? You wanted to play.
What would I say? Listen to everyone, even if you don't think it's right. Listen to it. Take it on board. Give 100%. You can only do what you can do. Don't think you're better than what you are. And enjoy it, because it goes so quick.
It really does.
Yeah.
Also, when you randomly pop into the Harriers Arms, it's so lovely, by the way, Aid. It really is. It's like, there he is, and there's someone else, and it's just, it just takes you back. It absolutely takes you back, man. It really does. Any more questions, boys? Any questions?
Yeah, I was going to ask a question. So, some of my kind of earliest memories watching Kidderminster was obviously watching Lee Hughes when he was playing for us up front. I mean, the guy just had a magic touch in front of goal. I mean, he obviously had his problems in his personal life, etc. But as a footballer, I mean, what was it like being on the pitch with a player like that?
See, I never played with Lee. I only played against him. Only played against him. So Lee's, I think Lee's dad used to be a roofer. So I used to bump into him in West Brom in the roofers building and have a chat with him. And then on a Saturday, I'd play against him. So every game I play against him, I thought I was quick. He was really, really fast. So that was a right battle. But he'd just touch it to the right and he'd shoot and he'd go in the top corner. You couldn't do anything about it. You couldn't defend it. It was frightening. And he was such a nice lad as well. So for him to make it was absolutely brilliant for him. Do you know what I mean? He deserved it. He was such a raw talent. It was frightening. Obviously, he had his issues, but even now, when I see him, he hasn't changed. Still a young lad at heart, and he had a great career in the end. Do you know what I mean? So fair play to him. I'm surprised he never got into football anymore, management or anything like that. But yeah, top lad. It was really hard, a real battle. One of the hardest best players I've played against, to be honest.
Love
We had a
watching
question
him.
come in from Dr. Stephen, who's not actually a doctor, but he's our resident doctor. He says, ask Adie about the cap in the frame. What does this mean, please, Aid?
Oh, that's one of my non-league England caps.
Oh,
Wow.
fantastic.
Because I was lucky enough, obviously, the last year before we won the conference. Then, so I got into the non-league England team. So I think I got 3 caps for that.
Who'd you play against? Do you remember? Have you still got the kit?
That one's Holland. Is that Holland? Holland, Italy, and Ireland. Holland, Italy, and Wales. It was, yeah. So I didn't keep a Welsh kit. Oh, that's rubbish. That one. Sorry, should say that, should I?
Fair enough for that.
Yeah.
So, who else did you play with in the England side at that time? Hey, do you remember any names we might know?
I can't remember. There was only a couple. There was another. Was Benno there? I think I can't remember. Honestly, my memory is terrible. A lot of Russian and Diamond lads. Can't remember. I really can't remember.
That's fine. It's absolutely fine. Right, Aid, thank you so much for your time tonight, mate. It's been an absolute trip down memory lane, like normal, but it's been fantastic, pal. Just wanted to say, so we always do this. You get to have a final word, Aid, and you get to have a chat. Speak to the fans who supported you throughout your years at Agborough, and just send them a message, if you will, please, Aid.
Well, sorry, big shout out's got to go to Daz the Kit Man, because I would have never been at Kidderminster if it wasn't for Daz the Kit Man, to be honest. He's kept me there over the years, and he's still a top mate now. So
he's watching tonight, I think. So
big shout out to Daz. Yeah. Shout out to the Harrier fans for just being Harriers fans, because from the minute I joined to the minute I left, I've loved every minute of it. I've always prided myself, win, lose or draw, after a game, always go into the bar after the game. Even if you've played shit, you go into they've paid the money, you go in, they can have a go at you, say what they want, and most of the time they're right. We did play shit, so there you go. Take it on the chin, have a drink, have an argument, and then you're all mates the next game. Do you know what I mean? But what a fantastic time. I've loved it. So thank you to all the fans for looking after me. And one more shout out to Muzza, because Muzza's doing fantastic now. He got hammered. Got hammered a few months ago. It's not going to work out. Blah blah blah. But that's football. But look at him now. They're flying.
Yeah.
So get behind him. Let's get promoted and be happy days.
Exactly. Yeah, we've had a few conversations over the podcasts since July, I think, about Alan Murray and about his style and stuff. We agree with some things, didn't agree with other things, but now we're 100% behind the team. And he seems to have moved away from where he was, and we've moved away from where we were, and we're all kind of in the middle.
What
and stuff.
a great player he was as well. What a great, fantastic player.
I'd have loved to have seen him and Molby in the middle.
Oh,
that would have been unreal, wouldn't it?
Not a lot of movement, but
but what a touch!
Yeah. They'd be passing to each other, 1-2.
In the goal. Hey, listen, mate, thank you. Oh, sorry, Dan, what were you going to say?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I've just had a message come through on Twitter or X or whatever it's called from friend Kiddy Guest, who I don't actually know who that is, but he wants me to ask you about a pre-match smoke routine.
Oh, well, that's got to be Daz the Kit Man, that. Jeez.
Oh, is that right? Or
pre-match smoke routine? What do you mean? I don't know.
I have no idea what he's talking about, but
depends if me and Bo wanted a cigarette, because me and Bo were always smoking. We'd always have a quick fag before a game.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. The first time I met Bo Hendrickson, I think I was walking out the changing rooms to go and have a cigarette, and he walked down. He come through the main entrance, walked all the way down past the changing rooms, just smoking a cigarette, and I was like, "You can't be smoking that here, mate." What? God. He went out the pitch, stubbed it out, and went in to see the gaffer.
Fantastic.
I was like, "Me and him are going to get on as mates here." Oh, brilliant! What a player!
That is lovely stuff. Thank you so much, Adie, for your time tonight, mate. Really appreciate that, and keep on keeping on. And we'll see you at Agbra soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed for the celebration party.
Yeah,
cheers,
man.
Adie. See you soon.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Bye, Adie, mate. Take care.
Adie. Thanks, pal. Bye. And there we go. How cool was that, eh? That was
He's
good.
a proper dude, isn't he?
What a hero. And do you know what? He's a hero to Harriers fans. He didn't score 100 goals. He didn't, necessarily win us any leagues. But what he did do, as he said, was give 100% of his heart and soul and his body every single game he played for the Harriers. And I saw something the other day that, excuse me, Greg Bell posted. Greg Bell, long time listener, first time watcher. He posted saying that Adie Smith was his childhood hero, and he got his son a photo with Adie Smith, and he said that this is my childhood hero, and now my son's meeting him, and the fact that Adie's still involved in the club, still doing things like this, and still popping up to watch us now and again. It just goes to show what a good bloke he is, and a part of Harriers history forever.
Everyone stand to attention, please. Good evening, Nick.
Hello.
Hey, Nick.
Are you well?
I thought you were.
Oh, I think he's having problems. We tend to have sound problems when we log in late here, don't we?
Is it because you both use? Is it because you use Macs? Is that what it is? Probably.
I'm not doing well enough for a Mac, mate. I'm just on standard.
Me neither, mate.
Laptop.
Dial up, wind it up, dial up. That's all it is.
Yeah.
There we go.
Can't see it because of the background, but I've got a tin can.
Is that what it is? With some wire, some string attached to it. Yeah, I love that. Nick, can you hear us now?
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, oui, oui. Oh, Dan's left now. What's going on here? I thought we were pros, guys. He's had enough. Have you and Dan fallen out, Nick? Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I just can't stand to see or hear him, and likewise by the looks of it.
Unfortunately, it's happening again. Can you
Sorry.
hear us, Dan?
I've got you now. Yeah, I'd lost everybody then. Couldn't hear anything.
It's weird.
Now I'm back.
Not sure what's happening with that.
It's weird.
But we're up. Can we all hear each other?
Give me now. Anyway, it's Kidderminster Harriers fans podcast, episode 47. I do apologise. So 2 games happened this week, and of course we got 6 points. That's just the way to do it. Telford at home Tuesday night. I came down to see that. People were quite worried that we were going to lose to Telford or not. It was going to be really hard, and it really wasn't. And I told everyone it really wouldn't be. And won 3-0. John, how do you see that game, mate?
Well, the game before that, obviously, was...
Wow, can't hear John now.
Slightly disappointing.
Can you hear me?
Everyone else hear me?
I can hear you, John.
You can hear John?
I can hear John, yeah.
Everyone can hear John, Nick. What is this?
They might be able to hear me just because they're close enough, Nick, to be fair. I'm quite loud. Obviously, the game before that, Hereford was a bit disappointing in terms of the way that we played. And on last week's podcast, I said we're kind of in a vicious cycle of matching the opponent's performance and matching the way that they're playing. And I said, I'd love to see us go out and impose ourselves on a game, dictate the play, dictate the tempo. And boy, did we ever do that against Telford. I thought that every part of that game was dictated by us, whether it be the high-paced, quick passing play, or whether it be the slowing down and managing the game. Everything was dictated by us, and that's exactly how it should have been. I thought that it's hard. It's actually hard to single out individual performances because I thought we were brilliant to a man. Owen Evans again, I thought was just fantastic in the way that he not only did his role as left back, wing back fantastically, also covered so much ground. Reynolds again, I just absolutely love seeing Reynolds after 60 minutes dripping with sweat, but just giving everything to the game. What I'm really enjoying, which started with the Fylde game but has continued since then, is one of our centre backs being given license to go forward and into the midfield and support. Obi did that brilliantly against Telford, but also interchange with Callum Bayou doing that. I think that Davis in the midfield filled those gaps where they needed to be filled. Divine, obviously, that finish was divine. But the way that goal was set up from Davis on the right hand side as well was lovely. It's hard to pick individual performances because everyone was just so good at that game. The only person who didn't have much to do was Dibble, and I'm sure we'll go on to yesterday's game. But he showed yesterday that he can play just as much a part as everyone else did on Tuesday night. So that was game of the season for me.
On Tuesday night, it just became apparent that it was like, hang on a minute, why is Owen Evans like attacking? Why has he gone past Reece Devine? Why has Obi gone up top? Well, and it's just like they just must know. They must trust the midfielders so much to get back. That's what I'm thinking. Especially now you've got Davis and Cooper. I mean, what a centre pairing that is in the midfield.
Cooper was unbelievable. The last few games, I mean, yesterday he was great, but Tuesday everyone was at 8, 9 out of 10, and Cooper. Actually, I said to Adam Murray as he walked up the ground yesterday, I actually thought Cooper was better yesterday than Tuesday, and there's one reason for that, which I know I bang on about every week on this podcast. His communication and the way that he brought everyone to that level of he was marshalling the game, but everybody's communication went up yesterday as a result of what Cooper was doing. He was turning round to every player and he giving it that you talk, and they did, and that was, especially as we were at points under the cosh yesterday. That really showed, and that made a massive difference.
Do you think Cooper is future captain material?
Well, he had the armband, didn't he? But
he did.
Well, you can't say a lone player will be captain. But I'd if we did sign him permanently, I'd throw the armband at him like it was a ball from the ball pool on Funhouse. Whereas I think that he's
with the twins, John.
I would say I would push Melanie and Martina aside to rush in the armband. I think, whilst this is absolutely no discredit to Amari Morgan-Smith, who's been a great captain for us, his experience, his head for football, and first and foremost his communication makes just such a difference to the team. And boy, are we seeing the benefits of him being in there.
We really are. So Telford smashed out of the way, 3-0. Thanks very much. We'll take that. So was that game 6 in a row that we won?
Yes, including the cup game. That would be 6 in a row.
So like you said, we went to Curzon, and Dibble got to take a lot of credit there. In fact, we've got a comment come in from Carl. Carl saying, can we take a moment to praise Mr. Dibble? What a game against Curzon. Lovely to have him back, if that's the case.
Yeah, definitely. I think certainly in the first half, I think it's fair to say that Curzon had a game plan. They'd obviously done their homework against us. Their man at the front had quite a lot of pace. I think he was causing problems with that ball over the top. They were trying to exploit the kind of gap between the defence. And Adam Murray, in his interview post-game, said, that they were purposely playing a high line. They decided to take the risk, and they wanted Dibble to almost play that sweeper-keeper role. But I think there were 3 saves in the first half that were absolutely crucial. One-on-ones where you need your keeper. And I'm going to say the phrase now, and I apologise for this, but if you're going to win the league, you need 11 players on the field that are mucking in, and Dibbs earned his keep yesterday. I thought he had a great game. And the challenge in the second half, which I was so disappointed that wasn't on the highlights, because that challenge just outside of his box, the sliding challenge, again, it's moments like that win games. And I think absolutely right, Dibbs deserves as much credit as can be lauded on him for yesterday. I put him down as my man of the match. I thought he was excellent.
Nick,
hello.
You hear me?
I can hear you, Wes. Can you hear me?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. Where you been?
I've restarted the computer. I don't know what was happening with that, so apologies. And I think I've obviously missed the Telford recap.
Yeah, we've done it now, mate. We might as well go home, to be honest. Although we are.
Nick, why don't you just give us in 15 to 20 seconds your thoughts on Telford?
Okay. It was entertaining. It was fast paced. The tempo was high. They had some key players missing by all accounts, which I think we absolutely compounded by just, to be honest, it was one of those games where you don't get to see it that often at this level, but I thought it was a game where we really looked the full-time side, and I don't always see that visually in a game. I'm sure the stats and the data sometimes might present that in terms of distance covered, but just the optics of it, we looked high tempo and we looked full-time playing a part-time side, was how I described Tuesday. There wasn't a single bad performance across the pitch, and really enjoyed it.
How was the ref yesterday? I mean, we scored the most offside goal, which Dan sent me, actually. I'll play that for you in a second. But
can I just quickly, sorry, Wes, can I just quickly say one thing on the whole Dibble piece, just to cap that off, if that's okay? Because I've missed that section. I guess it touches on Dan's point around, you need no successful football team does well without a really good goalkeeper and a good backline, which we now definitely have in place. But I think if you look at the games yesterday, a goalkeeper saves you in games in those very small moments that quite easily get forgotten about. And it could have quite conceivably been that Curzon got at least 1 or 2 goals in that first half. And if that does happen, crowd turns, fear sets in, panic sets in, Murray starts to worry, etc. And the fear around the ground comes back. So whilst they sometimes look like, I'm not going to use the phrase, comfortable saves, because they're not. There were some really good saves in there yesterday from Dibble. But for me, they show why we have a chance this season. If we can have those moments in games, if a keeper can have those moments, I know that's his job, to quote Roy Keane, but they're always good signs, I think. And he had those in the other periods of time where we were successful. So well done to Dibble, but it's easily forgotten, I think, the goalkeeper. He made 1 save. The crowd barely applauded. Such a key moment. So, yeah, shout out to Dibs. Well done. Spot on.
I will say that yesterday was probably the most renditions of with Dibble in sticks, we're going to be all right, to the tune of 3 Little Birds that I've heard. I thought that, he was he was well lauded for what he did yesterday.
Good.
I think that there were everybody on the pitch did their job well yesterday. I just think that performing to the level that they did against Telford probably isn't an every game scenario. We've won 6 in the league on the bounce. Am I counting the FA Trophy? Of course I'm not. We've won 6 in the league on the bounce. That is title winning form. I know that we're 4 wins off still. I know we are, but this is title winning form. and every single player over the last 2 or 3 games has shown up, and I'd argue pretty much everyone on the pitch has in at least one of those games. Last 4 including South Shields. Every player on the pitch in one of the last 4 has played a 10 out of 10, and that is what you need. You need players who are giving great performances every game and outstanding performances now and again, and that's what we've got at the minute.
Let's have a look at the goal from yesterday, the most offside goal.
He all overrun the ball there. Callum Boyd just got back onto his feet, shoots, and it's scooped in.
I'm not sure it's offside.
Stays down. And
well, you say that, but Stu, who sits in the main stand to the right of Murray, he said it was offside. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, on first glance at the game, I 100% thought it was offside, but I'm not 100% having looked at the footage that it is, because there is a Curzon player pretty much in line with Davis. If you play the clip again, you'll see what I mean. However, what does look to be the case is does look to be a foul inside the box. So you can sort of see why Curzon were disappointed with that one yesterday. I think if that was us, we would also be disappointed. Have we spoken about their number 9 yet, Spencer?
Briefly.
We have,
briefly.
Yeah.
Let me just play this, Nick, and then look at Davis's his face expression, his facial expression.
Postman. He all overrun the ball there. Callum Boyd just got back onto his feet, shoots, and it's scooped in. The flag stays down. And it's David Davis, I think, that might have got the final touch. It didn't look the best delivery in the world, but Callum Boyd went down, then got to his feet quickly, swivelled on it.
Look, just look at the ref, just laughing his head off. He's like, I'll take that, thanks, ref.
Certainly, the Curzon Ashton goalkeeper and captain think that he was in an offside position, David Davis, but the flag stayed down. The goal's going to count.
He's still looking like he can't believe it.
There's a phrase that I think I've said on this podcast before, that I've said an awful lot of times over the years in terms of referees, and that's it all comes out in the wash. We have some weeks we have refs that are awful. Some weeks we have refs that are great. Some weeks decisions go for us. Some weeks they go against us. I think, the referees are referees at this level for a reason, as Nick has said many times before. Yeah. And I do think it all comes out in the wash. So, yes,
it's the kind of thing that would never have happened to us, though, in September, October.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where you fit. That's, for me, those kind of things that happen. Yeah. You start to think, have we turned a corner? Like, I know we've won 6 in a row, so we absolutely have turned a corner. We're on the straight and narrow now. But I think those moments for me demonstrate that things are falling a little bit more for us now. That would not have happened in October, I don't think. And that's what you've got to hope now, that some of our bad luck, our injury issues, some of the refereeing decisions, the additional stoppage time where we were conceding every time in those extra minutes. Hopefully now, we're going to be on the right side of stuff. Murray said in his interviews at the start of the season, to your point, John, these things will even out. But I feel like we're making them even out now. We're earning our luck, as they say. Yeah. And long may it continue. I look at that team now and, it's a team that you look at and go, it can, if we were in the playoffs tomorrow, I feel like we would compete and give it a go. Whereas in previous weeks on this podcast, I've not thought, even if we're in the playoffs, you're like, we're so far off it. We don't look off it now. We're a team that can win in different ways, and that's been demonstrated within a 7-day period, because we beat Telford in a very completely different way to how we won yesterday against Curzon. But there's a fluidity to the players, there's a freedom that the players are able to have now. You look at your OBs and your Callum Boys, they bomb on, Cooper sits in to sit and protect. And we've got bodies going forward in areas where the opposition can't really expect it and don't really necessarily know how to handle it. You couple that with the fact that Obi actually has technique. His finish yesterday, albeit disallowed, again, a fantastic finish. He is turning into the signing of the season in terms of the signing from the original summer window for me, Obi. Not saying he's going under the radar completely, no pun intended, given he's not far off my height. But I don't feel like he is getting as much of the plaudits as maybe some of the other players are. Whether that's because he'd had a few poor moments early on in the season, but that boy is turning it on big time. Big time.
I think if I can just sort of also, when you talk about players bombing forward, Owen Evans, the confidence
He's
that lad
class.
has now.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple of times, especially
Absolutely.
it would be the second half, where he picked the ball up just off our own 18-yard box and just run into space and keep running past the halfway line, keep running. Then you've got sort of Reese looking for a ball around the corner. You got Riley running through the middle. There was a ball, I think it was Evans played into Hemo, and nothing came of it, but it was such a lovely ball around the back. And this is what we talked about in those pre-season shows that we did, and we talked about what we wanted to see from Kidderminster. We wanted to see the balls into the channels, the overlaps, and last season it was all down the right, whereas this season it feels like it's all down the left at the moment. It's great to watch, really great to watch.
There is an identity to the team. The identity over the last couple of games that I've seen is fluidity. Players like centre halves getting on the ball past the halfway line and venturing forward and given the trust to do so. That is not something you actually see at this level a lot. And I like to see a team that have an identity. I've spoken about that many, many, many times. It's boring, I know, but I'm starting to see the identity. But it's actually backed up by a strong physical know-how in that centre part of the field.
Absolutely.
Davis, Cooper, Obi, Kalimbayi, Dibble, and Morgs and Evans. To be honest, he is a quality player. Now, one of my mates said to me yesterday in the stand, he said, "Why didn't we sign him at the start of the season?" It was purely because he got injured. And these are the sort of things now that you look at and go, "Oh, imagine if we'd had him from the start. What kind of difference could he have made?" Because he is a true non-league looking playing player. But yeah, like I said, it's a team now that you look at and go, "I've got confidence in this team now. I feel like we can go anywhere and do a job and do it in different ways," which is great. Just missing a number 9 that can do a bit more of everything. We just didn't have a goal threat yesterday. I'm sure it's been covered, but so apologies. But that was my only criticism of yesterday's game. And it's hard to say when you've won 3-0, there was no goal threat. But from the centre forward, I didn't see enough yesterday, and I actually thought that their number 9 did a far better job than Amari did yesterday and TSS when he came on. But he's a very experienced player, and I was looking at his goal record yesterday. It's not as good as I probably thought it would be. I just think that when Curzon score, he scored quite a few of those goals, but not as high as I'd thought actually. So, but yeah,
I think we've got to give some credit to Curzon actually. I think with regards to the point there, when we compare it to the Telford game, that free flowing football, Curzon had a plan yesterday and they stuck to it. They were so organised, and the minute we picked up the ball, they went into those two banks of 5 and 4, and it was they weren't being drawn out to us. They were pressing, but they weren't being drawn out in that way. And I think when it came to we spoke, I think it was you, John, that said it, that you have to win in so many different ways to compete for the title. And I think that's exactly what we saw yesterday. We saw a team that had done their homework on us, that had a game plan, that were organised, that stuck to it, and yet we still came out with the 3 points. And I think
I do get that, Dan. I don't disagree with that. They were a decent side. I thought they had a really good number 9, a good structure, a good solid defensive line. Keeper was decent as well. They had a game plan, absolutely. Despite that game plan, though, we got plenty of decent quality deliveries into that box. Divine put a couple in. Hemo put 2 or 3 in. That, regardless of yes, they had a good game plan. I rated them myself as well, but I just think if there's one missing piece at the minute, I feel like it's that threat, because Divine at the moment is on a hot streak. And I've said this before, he's a confidence player, and he's got confidence. So he now looks like borderline Football League standard, the sort of player that could maybe go on to that level given his age. We've got to take advantage of that. He was putting some good quality balls in yesterday, overhit a couple as well. Hemo did the same. I just wish we could I don't know. Amari was fantastic on the Tuesday night. He was fantastic against Telford, I thought, Amari, as they all were. But I just don't think he did enough yesterday for me. And then TSS offered no more when he came on either. So if there was one concern I have, if the playoffs were tomorrow, let's say, forget the title. I know we're just discussing that as well. But if the playoffs were tomorrow, in my mind, that's the one thing right now that would be in the back of my mind to think, that worries me.
Yeah, but I'd like to point out that we are fifth. You won't believe this, but we're the fifth highest scorers in the league.
Yeah.
Which is mental, absolutely mental. You think everyone's moaning about we don't score enough goals and that kind of thing. But there's that. The Telford game, Telford...
Four of those goals have gone out on loan. Another 4 of those goals are the centre half. How long is that going to continue?
Well, let's hope all season next.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to stop, does it? You can just keep going.
Well, if Obi gets 8 to 10, then, I mean... that would be insane. I hope so.
Then he'll be off by.
I was
going to say, Telford, they were hit with the flu in the bug in the camp, so they didn't have an actual decent centre-back pairing. One was a left midfielder, I think, and stuff. So that didn't help their cause very much. Anyway, move on from that. And yesterday, I got a text message come through. It said, Luke Spokes has gone to Western-super-Mare, and everyone was in uproar about that.
He's had a Western.
He'd probably just gone down to spend some time, some money in the older arcades and whatever. But then if you thought about it, and Murray did talk about it, he's a guy who likes to play every single game, and he wasn't going to do that here at Harriers. Also, you look at the players who've got ahead of him at the moment. The two, you've got Davis, you've got Cooper, you've got Cam. Jack Clark's coming back now. He could be fifth in line to, get a start or whatever. So he didn't want to do that. So they've shipped him off, and hopefully that's a wage gone as well. So maybe we can bring in a number 9 like Nick says we need. So that's just a thought there. Right, guys, we've got 9 minutes left. 9 minutes left. Is now a good time to talk about the fact that we possibly can win the league? What do you reckon? Don't rush at once, guys. Don't rush at once.
I think we're all scared to say it.
I know. I'll happily take it. I don't think. I don't think we're out of the race. Is what I would say. It's probably my pragmatic view. I don't think we're out of the race. I think. I absolutely love. I'm just looking at the top scorers now, and Amari is joint second top scorer, so is Willoughby. I just think that TSS needs to move on. I think everyone's accepting of that now. I don't think his face fits at the club now. I don't think the fans have taken to him. Obviously, backed him up a couple of months ago, but I do think that if we can find someone who can score us 15 goals at the back end of the season, and we can keep Obi, Kalimbai, and that and Cooper and Davis fit, and Owen Evans, I think we've got a real chance. What I would say we can't sit here today and have true belief. It's just purely the goal scorers that the other teams have got that we don't have. That is my only thing deep down that worries me in terms of going on to win this title. But you know what? Something about this season, you just can't write it off. You feel like the story could be there. And on the what's the word? A romantic when it comes to these kind of things. So, can we win the league? Absolutely, we can. Do I believe we can right now with everything we have in place today?
Yes.
I think we're just short. Got only 3 goals.
I don't think we're short. I think we are just up against a tougher league than we were last year. I think this time last year we were roughly the same distance away from winning the league, and we almost did it. We were 1.2 point difference from where we are now, and we almost did it. But I think in Fylde and in South Shields, we've got 2 really, really strong contenders for the title. You're banking on both of those losing 4 games while we win them. That is a big ask. Someone's mentioned, Andrew Hunt said, South Shields on the final day.
Redemption from last year.
Oh my God, would I ever love that.
Just imagine it.
Love it.
Yeah,
Kevin Keegan.
That would be my dream if we could play them last day of the season for the title. The fact that we're even talking about winning the title when we were where we were a month ago after, or just over a month ago after the Marine game, is an absolute testament to this squad of players. Yeah. And also we've given every player credit. One thing we haven't done in these conversations is give Adam Murray credit. And, we're often accused of either being, well, first of all, we were accused of being too anti-Murray, and then we were accused of being too pro-Murray. But I think that the reality is that we want Murray to do well because he's the Kidderminster Harriers manager and for no other reason. And I think that he's got things bang on lately. And Nick, you mentioned about the license that the centre halves are being given to push forward, about the way that we've changed the style of play. I think we're using the channels so well. And if you listen to, and obviously I'm in the North Stand most of the time, but a couple of weeks ago I was in the main stand, sat behind Murray, and his instruction, okay, it's a bit micromanagey, but it's backing up everything that we're saying about what the squad's doing. That the players are listening to him and they're carrying out what he says. So, yeah, I think that he should be given a lot of credit for 6 wins on the bounce.
Honestly, it's incredible. Like when I think about it's not incredible 6 wins in a row at this level when you're full time. It's not. But given the fixtures, given the pressure, given the fact that actually Adie have slipped up on 2 or 3 of them games where, I'll be honest, I looked at that and thought, crikey me, I bet it's a worried house in the Murray household. When looking at those fixtures, and to achieve what they have in that 6-week window, in that 6-game window, has to give us that belief that we can do this. And I was looking at the players yesterday and the body language and the talking. It was so different. It felt like a different team that I've been watching over the last. And I'm not over exaggerating that. It feels like a different team in every sense. And I think if we can move a couple out and bring in 1 or 2 added final bits of quality, whether we win the league or we don't, we're in a really good place. And I look at players like Callum Boye and Cooper and others, Owen Evans. Hopefully we can, whatever happens this season, we now identified some players that we know can give us a real strong foundation at this level. Because that's worst case scenario. So yeah, it's an exciting time to be a Harriers fan for sure.
Right, let me just get this up. Give me one
Great shout, by Mark Stones, by the way, Wes. I think that's, I don't know if you can add that in.
As well.
That this is a really, really, really good point about Stuart Watkins. I actually mentioned it on the group the other day, and I mentioned it tonight. But our upturn in performances and results have coincided with some signings on the pitch, but also with Stuart Watkins off it. They've obviously got a chemistry, a dynamic that works. So yeah, big shout out to Adam Murray and Stuart Watkins and the whole management team, because hopefully they're going to take us on a real ride now for the next few months.
And in fairness to Stoner is the one person who's been absolutely staunch backing Murray, whatever the result. I mean, he even backed Murray after we lost to Marine, and I don't know anyone who did that. I thought he was on some strong drugs, but it turned out he was wrong. So Mark Stones, fair play. You've been in his corner from the start.
So if we look at the fixtures that are coming up, do you know what? Morecambe at home. I know you hate it, John. I think we've got a chance there, pal. They're in relegation. Are they really going to be that bothered about the FA trophy?
Good game for us, that.
A little bit more bothered. I think we could win that one. Worksop at home, 17th. Scarborough away. Can't wait for that one in Bridlington. John, you'll be there, won't you?
Scarborough, I'm very much hoping to get there. I'm planning to be. I think we're doing a ground uppers day out, so should be there.
Very nice. Bedford on the Tuesday. I'll be there as well.
I'll be at Bedford as well.
You'll be at Bedford.
Yeah, so Bedford.
Bloody hell, Dan!
It's one of the many places that I've lived, and all of kind of my best friends actually live in Bedford, so I'm going to be trying to drag them to the game as well. And I'm really looking forward to that one. And I scored a goal at Bedford Town, so I'll always treasure that memory.
They still talk about it now, Dan. Sorry,
Yeah, I know
you
they
used
are.
to
Yeah,
talk about it now, pal. Do you know what I mean? And Macclesfield away. That's another Tuesday night game. What we making?
Whoa. It's tough games. You look at that, and it's some tough games there, isn't there? But on paper, not as tough as what we've just gone through. So
exactly,
that's how you look at it. They're all tough at this league for whatever reason. It could be it's far away. It's a Tuesday night. They've signed a new player. They've had a new manager. There's always something.
I think there's 12 points there. I genuinely, league-wise, we'll ignore the trophy as I always do. I think there's 12 points there. I think there's actually some reasonably, for want of a better phrase, easy fixtures. I think we can impose ourselves.
Whisper it quietly there, John. just to give some comparison. So South Shields next few games, they have Leamington at home on the 17th of January, away at Marine on the 24th, South Shields versus Fylde 27th of January.
Wow.
Away at Oxford City and at home to Macclesfield. So again, if I was a South Shields fan looking at that fixture list, I'd fancy just to get 9, but they've got Macclesfield at home and they've got Fylde at home. 2 massive games that could really I guess put them in pole position, or ideally a draw with Fylde and brings us and Merthyr back into the fold.
Well, I think that's 9 minimum for South Shields.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
That's at a very minimum. But I think it's 9 minimum for us. Yes, we need to be catching them rather than just matching them. Yeah. But I think looking at those fixtures, I think it's a good month for us to continue what we're doing.
Can Phil Brown help us out with the Fylde? Fylde are at home to Peterborough Sports on Tuesday the 13th of January after a cup game against Hereford. Then they're at home to Scarborough, away to Oxford, away to South Shields, home to Marine and away to Hereford. So Fylde have got on paper some decent fixtures too. So it's really important that we do stay in the mix. But that Fylde South Shields one is one I'm sure that the Harriers faithful will have eyes on. Should we still be in a position to?
We'll all be there in Bedford, huddled around the Vidi printer, won't we? Waiting for the results to come in, lads. We'll all be there.
Exactly. Right. Okay, guys, listen, it's been lovely tonight. I've really needed this tonight as well, actually. So this podcast is by the fans, for the fans. It's also for us as well. So I've really enjoyed this because my wife and my daughter are not here. They're on holiday. Somewhere nice and warm where I'm not, and it's a bit lonely and depressing. But this has been fun because imagine if we hadn't been winning. It's been terrible. That'd been it.
We've had it all this season, Wes, haven't we? We've had it all so far, so it's been
literally
it's been good. And I needed it as well, so I'm glad the technology worked, and thanks for persevering and letting me back in. I know it must be frustrating when it's not working, so apologies for that. I don't know why it wasn't, but hopefully it'll be okay next week. So thanks, Wes.
It's all right, buddy. It's no problems at all. So any of the business, I've been a bit lackadaisical with putting the episodes on Spotify. I did upload all the episodes missing today. I just sat here and just blasted out of the park. So if you listen online in the car, on the Spotify in the car, you can do that to your heart's content. You've got 43, 44, 45, 46 and 47. That will be tomorrow morning. I'll do that as well. So that's it from me.
I'm going to admit I do listen to the podcast on Spotify. Is that weird that I listen back to a podcast that I'm on? It is weird, right? Okay.
Thank you, Dan.
The wife said,
John, any of the business? Apart from Dan's a weirdo.
Josh Cowley has just commented that Ormerod is off to York. I would be very surprised if Ormerod was off to York because I think Father paying more money, but there we go. My any other business is a big, just a shout out to Liam Shannon. Liam, who is, I'm sure a lot of you know, a staunch Harriers fan. We were chatting in the Harriers Arms yesterday. Hands up, who's on Footballogy? Just me and Wes, I think. Footballogy just keeps track of all the games you go to if you do a lot of different ground hopping like we do. Liam Shannon there were 61 games that Harriers played in 2025. That includes all friendlies, all cup games, all Worcestershire Senior Cup games and everything else. And Liam Shannon went to 56 of them. So if anyone can beat that, I did 47, which
That's impressive in itself.
I thought was good going in itself. But yeah, Liam Shannon doing 56 games out of a possible 61 for Harriers is really, really impressive. So big shout out.
Liam.
Shout out to Liam. Sorry, Dan, did you have any other business, mate?
A couple of things, actually. There's been a lot of chat on social media about Joe Folkes on his way to Leyton Orient, apparently. John and myself and my sister and dad and nephew were stood in the car park last night chatting literally about that as Adam Murray appeared. And my sister, being my sister, basically asked him outright, what's going on with Joe? Is he staying? Is he going? He had no idea what we were talking about. Adam Murray didn't. He's either got a really good poker face and there is something going on that we don't know about, or we can quash those rumours outright and say Joe Folkes isn't going anywhere.
I think, given where we are at the moment in the season, a really pinnacle, like a real key moment of the season, I think any of this transfer talk, we just need to quash it. Keep it on the down low. It can't be good for the players to be thinking about it, talking about it, hearing about it. I think we just need to focus on what we're focusing on. I'm sure that, there are players that might be of interest at some stage, but I think really the more that we talk about it, I think the impact could be a negative one. You don't want any players to be their eyes cast elsewhere before it's true.
So Nick, sorry, Nick, are you saying that we shouldn't comment on hearsay on social media? Nick, is that what you're saying?
I think at this time of the season, I think we'd be better to not.
Because I had to have a chat with the panel. I had to have a chat with one of the panel who forgot that we were doing that. His name's Dan, Dr. Dreamy.
Sorry.
And he was like, I've heard loads of people leave. I was like, what are you doing, Dan? Shut up. And then he had a Freddie on. I was like, what are you doing?
Normally I wouldn't mind. And I'm not having a go at Dan because I love Dan to bits, as we all know. I just think we are at a point in the season where, we've been accused previously on this, not specifically on this podcast, but basically this podcast, for maybe having a bit of a negative impact on things. I like to think over the last few weeks and months that's more than been nipped in the bud and hopefully gone in the other direction with some of the stuff that we've been doing and saying and talking about. And I guess really it's just in line with that, really, Dan, and everyone, that we just sort of try and keep those players online. And look, if they go, they go. I'm going to come on to my protege at some point in my any other business. I don't care about other people's players, but hopefully for now, none of ours are going anywhere.
Cool. I've got one more thing for the any other business.
The funny thing was, Dan, that after we had that falling out via WhatsApp, you then even got the player wrong.
Yeah. No. Well, when I saw Reese, because it was Matty, wasn't it? And I'd been chatting with Matty, and he said Reese, and I was like, oh, it's Reese Devine. Ricardo Reese was who he was talking about in the end. So I here solemnly swear that I will no longer pass on any hearsay, and if I do, it will be done under another Twitter profile that I'll create beforehand.
Just tell Josh Cowley, man. Just honestly, he's
talking of pseudonyms. I saw the Agra Anarchist the other day. Nice to meet the Agra Anarchist, who's enjoying what we do and really appreciate his comments. Yeah. But Reese is a nice segue into what I'm sure Nick is going to talk about.
Yeah.
We ran out of time though, so
Can I just say one more thing on the any other business? I think I really want to get this out there. Yesterday at the game, I had so many people come up to me and congratulate me on the pregnancy and everything that's happening with me and Cara. Guys, it was wonderful. It felt so nice to have so many people come up and just sort of shake my hand and congratulate. One guy said, "Congratulations on the newborn," and I said, "We ain't there yet." And he went, "I know, but I didn't know how else to say it." So, but it was so lovely. So thank you to everybody who came and gave me a pat on the back. It was really great. So thanks very much.
The swimmers are still working. Hey?
Yes.
Go on then, Nick. Talk about Ricardo. By the way, Nick, this is the last time ever this season on this podcast, unless we sign him, which we definitely won't do. We're going to talk about Ricardo Reese because we're up there. We talk about Liverpool and whoever if we do this again. So your time to shine, buddy. Your time to shine, Nick. Go on.
I had my time to shine in May, Wes, when I called out Ricardo Reis
Yes.
and Murtha and said they're going to be a problem this season. And yeah, look, I think I've actually watched a couple of. I've seen his goals yesterday. I mean, the guy's it's just a joke, really. To consider the fact every level he goes up, he's scoring goals. I know it's only 2, but on a debut, I mean, that's a performance that as a fan base you look at each other and go, we've got one here, and that's kind of what we all want as a centre forward, I guess, as any football fan in world football. So fair play to him. Interestingly, I watched the Robbie Savage interview, which is an interesting one. If anybody's actually watched any Robbie Savage interviews, they're not what I expected them to be. I thought they'd be a lot more sort of polished, I guess, but he's very passionate. He also tells you a lot of information on the interviews. Now, again, some of it could be a little bit of smoke and mirrors, but he said that Forest Green didn't offer Ricardo Reis the highest amount, and that there were 4 to 5 football league offers on the table, and he went with his heart. And I guess the fact he's Welsh and Robbie Savage and all that stuff maybe played a part into it. But yeah, look, I still think Merthyr are going to be in the mix. I don't think they will be a title contender without his goals, but he isn't the only strong player at Merthyr, and they do play a really attractive style, and I still think they will be. And I saw a message earlier in the group that they might fall down the table, Merthyr. I agree, but I still think they're going to be very much in the playoff mix, because like I say, they play with a tempo, they play with an energy, and I think they're a difficult place to go. But yeah, all I'm really got to say is that I called it. Cheers. I
think it's really good for us that he's gone. I do think we'll finish above Merthyr now, which I think with him there, I wouldn't have been so confident of. And it's good for non-league that these players are being identified and coming through, and there's more money going into the game. I think someone's mentioned that. Whether his heart was at Forest Green, I don't know anyone whose heart's been at Forest Green apart from maybe Linda McCartney. But
not a loud heart at Forest Green, to be fair. Sort of as you walk in, it's over the door. No hearts needed. But I just want to make one more point on Forest Green, really, not Ricardo Reis based, but I think the fact they've signed him, and Robbie Savage alluded to the fact that he's looking to bring in 2 more players. I know, and this is incredibly left field, but Nick Houghton didn't get on yesterday. If they do bring in 2 more players, apparently they're going to be a midfielder and a winger. So in his area, obviously you've got Ricardo Reis added to it. That's 2 or 3 players at least on top of what they've already got, which is a deep squad given the budget and the fact they're in the National League. So am I saying we're going to get Nick Houghton? No. Would I love it if we did? Yes. Has he got a link with Murray? Yes. It's not going to happen, but we can all dream, right?
That's what Ranieri said to the Leicester fans when they were top of the league and they had a few games left. And he said, I just want them to dream. They just got to dream. And you know what? If you want a podcast to dream, we are the podcast that dreams. We really, really are. I had a question I was going to put to you guys, but I'm not going to now because we'll be here for another 20 minutes if I did. So thank you so much to everyone who got involved today. Dan, listen, mate, honestly, that makes me smile so much, the fact that people were nice to you and they said nice things to you, Dan. That's brilliant about the swimmers working and the baby being put in there and happy days, that kind of thing. Try and make it less graphic than I just did. But there you go, Dan. Well done, you.
When did you become a doctor? That's incredibly profound.
So, I've been holding on to it, Nick, for a while, mate. And I thought now I know that that Dan's probably going to have to leave because his missus is not going to be happy with any of this football malarkey on a Sunday night. Not a chance, pal. I thought I should step it up a little bit. So Dr. Stephen's been giving me some tips. So
makes sense.
She is never letting me leave this podcast because me being here talking to you guys about this stopped me going downstairs and talking to her about this. So this was her dream for me to be on a podcast like this. So.
Wes, could you just whilst you were doing your doctor work, have you also got a law degree as well, just for the divorce? Just thinking might need to have different roles for different needs.
Yes. I love that. I love that an awful lot. By the way, actually, No. Yeah, keep talking. I've got to play this. Keep talking. I've got to play this. I've got to play
Oh, no, I'm worried. Is it another Christmas song?
No.
Oh,
Don't worry. Right. So this was from 2018, right? And do you play Guess the Jan? You play Guess the Attendance, don't you?
Yes,
John
yeah.
Guess the Attendance, and Nick, you don't. You're not on social media, but John was accused by the Harriers hotliners of cheating. And his Harriers hotline, and today I have the pleasure of having the interview. John, never, ever, ever not have a beard again. Okay, they all want it, including Piers Morgan from ITV.
My gosh.
He wanted to speak to John Smith about rule breaking in Harriers hotline and Guess the Attendance. Hello, John. Nice of you to join us.
Thank you, Wes. Nice to be here. Nick Griffiths just walked in with his Sambas.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah. Okay. So, how do you feel knowing that more than half of the hotliners think you're a fraudster?
Obviously, there's a few snakes in the group. Too many snakes on Facebook, that's the problem.
Yeah, okay.
DM me,
But it's
If there's one thing this is proved, Wes,
at the end of the day,
I should always have a beard, and if there's another thing it's proved, you should have hair. So
yeah. So it's just by chopping my hair off that saved me about I don't know, about let's say 200 quid in barber's fees. So we're struggling right now, John. It's January, mate. It's January. We're struggling. Yeah.
Where did you get that Alfreton Town shirt from?
What? Well, this one that I'm wearing. What you mean, the England rugby shirt? I mean, what am I doing wearing that in the arms? To be fair, to start with, I have no idea.
Yeah, very weird. I can't get over John. Not just aesthetically, but everything. It doesn't actually. I feel like it's your brother. Doesn't actually resemble you, as I know you know.
Oh my God! Was this Ron Smith? Did I meet Ron Smith?
I think you and Ian probably give yourselves a beer.
Who, me?
Well, you've probably let slip too soon, haven't you? I mean, he's got 5 wins now?
No, he's got 5 points. Oh yeah, that'd be 5 wins.
5 wins? Yeah. Where's he getting all this information from?
Basically, in a nutshell, John accused his best mate, Adam Matthews, of cheating on Guess the Attendance. Is that correct, John?
That is correct, yeah, and I stand by that, Wes. Yeah.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Interestingly, Nick Griffiths has still got those Sambas.
Yeah. It's to say, he just hasn't resold now and again. Yeah. Having seen that, Wes, I can make a solemn promise that I won't get rid of the beard.
Unless you're like feeling like really old, just take it off, man. Take it off. That gets really 20
That was great.
The problem is that the few years, if I take it off now, I'll have another chin to go underneath.
It's going well then. It's going well. Anyway, sorry. I had to play that because I saw it earlier. That was fun. That was really fun. So Nick, thanks very much for not being at the Adie Smith interview. Although he was a favourite of yours, wasn't he? Is that correct, Nick?
Loved Adie Smith, yeah. Loved him and Hinton's partnership. But I mean, that was the show my age a bit now, I guess. But that was one of my earlier memories of proper memories of properly supporting the Harriers. Like I went up as a small kid, not that I've ever been that small, but as a young child. But yeah, when I was properly season ticket holder was the first Mulby season, and yeah, just some amazing memories, amazing players. I'll definitely watch it back. He was a fantastic player, and I think he was one of several that we had really that were just brilliant. Just some of the best Harriers moments, weren't they? Really, some of the best Harriers players, and that's why it's sometimes a tough job to put on a Harriers shirt in the non-league circles, because we've had some true brilliant players, and a lot of them seem like really nice blokes, great lads as well. So. And he was definitely one of those. You see him at games; he's clearly a Harriers fan. You've got to love that, right? That's what we love.
Absolutely. Keith Lowe was in the Agbra suite yesterday, wasn't he?
I wasn't there. You'll be shocked to know that I wasn't. There.
Who was he with, John? What's the foundation? Was it
the Harriers Foundation? Yeah.
I was going to say, what's the foundation called? Obviously, the Harriers Foundation.
Harriers Foundation. Harriers Foundation doing some great work. I've put a couple of posts on Harriers Hotline. And I'm just really impressed by everything that those guys are doing to try and reach out to the community. There's the Men's Mental Health Hub on a Monday night at the Centre of Sport and Excellence, or Chainwire, as most of us know it. And then we're also doing a course to help people with some kind of functional skills as well. And kind of, I know this is a bit of a cliche term in 2025, 6, whatever we're in now, but to help people level up and just to manage some of those basic things around finances, around time management, and those kind of things that I think kind of all at some point come to all of us as a struggle. So great they're doing that, and I think there'll be even more coming out of there. So all started, obviously, I know we mentioned him with his Sambas by Nick Griffiths.
Oh, what a guy.
And
Legend.
then, this was, we're going back 35 years. Nick Griffiths has been involved. And then more people have come on board. And Adam from Agborough Unfiltered is the driving force behind it now. And yeah, they're all doing a great job, and it's great to see us being a real community club. And one of the reasons why people might clamour for us to go part-time, but we're never going to, because of the college links that we've got, the community stuff that we do. We're not a part-time club, and great to see us making the most of being full-time.
Absolutely.
Can I just... Sorry, Wes.
That's for John. What are you saying, Nick? I want to go to bed, mate. What are you saying? What's going on?
Just a real quick one on Adam, actually. So I was up there on Tuesday night, not having the sit down where you get a table and stuff, just in the hospitality, had one of the bands. I was with my little girl, and we obviously had nowhere to sit and watch the game, and because it was so cold, a lot of people sort of sat in to watch it. So we were a bit like, oh, not quite sure. Didn't have the gear to go outside either. Just assumed there'd be a spot. And fair play to Adam. He literally just invited me and my girl over, and let us watch the game in the corner on a seat. It was really nice and comfy, and he didn't have to do that. I just thought it was a nice touch, and just showed what a good guy he is. We had a bit of a chat about the Monday night men's mental health that John was discussing. Just a good vibe about the place, and when you've got good people like that kicking around the football club, it's a positive. I know I made my comments about the Agborough Unfiltered with the whole Murray loving, and
don't worry about that.
Who knows? Maybe he's going to be proved right. Who knows?
Let's hope so. By the way, whenever I go to the Agborough suite, which isn't very often, I always sit in the suite, and the view's just fantastic.
So good. Oh, it's so good.
Do you know what happens to me, actually? I'll tell you this. If my dad's watching...
No, sorry, Wes, I need to go to bed, mate. I'm tired.
Oh, dear. Cheers, right, so I sit the low. I wish I could sit higher, but I can't. I sit on the lowest bit. And whenever we score, even though I've told my dad not to do this, he jumps up excited. Now, I get it, but then he just goes straight in my way. And I'm like, I can't see what's going on. Yeah, at the Agborough suite, it would be really hard to do that, to be fair. But yeah.
You're spot on the Wes. The view is so good. When you actually, in the main stand bit, the hospitality bit, the view is really good. They need to get those offices built ASAP.
I know. Yeah,
that would be good. We'll all chip in together and get a collective space.
Yeah, no, but thank you for the offer. You can do that. Yeah, Dr. Dreamy will be doing his scalpel, please, on the table there and that kind of thing. Right, listen, guys, well done. I really enjoyed tonight. I thought it was excellent. Thank you if you got involved. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. It's really weird. Tonight doesn't feel like Sunday at all. It feels like Thursday to me. I have no idea what day it is. I'm guessing it's Monday tomorrow, which means work. But yeah, thank you for sticking with us. As always, thank you for watching. And if you miss the Adie Smith interview, then this podcast will come up pretty much straight away on the usual place where it goes. So thank you so much to everyone. Thank you. And thanks for looking after Dan as well. That's really kind.
Cheers, guys.
Even though he feeds you duff information. But thank you, Dan.
Cheers.
And that's it, guys. See you later. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
See you,
guys.